Dad. How are you today?
Hey, hi, Jardy. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. We're just enjoying our Sunday afternoon and kind of chatting a little bit about the Hallmark movie last night, which was called A Safari Romance. What were your thoughts?
Well, first of all, we had a wonderful time watching beautiful, beautiful shots and video of rare endangered species on our African safari. And for those who've never been to Africa, we saw these beautiful animals, the white lions, the leopards, the elephants, the zebras, in their natural habitat. And we had a love story to go along with our trip to Africa.
Yeah, it was definitely, the photography was outstanding, and it was funny because they even made the main character be a photographer in it, so it was kind of apropos. It was perfect how she was taking pictures along, and you knew it was really the photography people taking the pictures, but it was great. I thought that she was actually acting as a photographer too.
Well, we got to enjoy what beauty there is in Africa, in southern Africa, and this took place in South Africa, and it was also a wonderful love story of two people meeting while they're on their jobs or they're on their chosen professions, and finding they have something in common with each other, that they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together enjoying their commonality.
Right. We would have, they would have never, it's how fate says it is, right? Because you have this, he's a immersion, works for a theme park, right? Who is showing up in the savannah of Africa somewhere, in South Africa. And he shows up at these reserves, and she's his tour guide, and it's just perfect. They would have never met any other way back in New York City, where he was from. And I loved it.
Yes, and they talked about the ecology and the preservation of endangered species. And they brought up the fact that a lot of people are using drones.
Yeah, that was cool.
To look for the
elephants,
poachers looking for the elephants, and how they are trying to prevent the poachers from destroying that which is our inheritance. But basically, interwoven was this love story of two people who had such commonality for the love of these animals.
And it showed, because every time she wanted to show him a new experience and everything. And then in true Hallmark fashion, we of course had someone come into the picture to disrupt it in the middle of it.
This is typical Hallmark, but this happens throughout life. As we carry through our romances, there's always something that will cause a snag in the road.
Well, I don't know if someone would travel to Africa for me like this, but maybe, right?
Well, I think they met in Africa, so there was not.
No, the person who showed up to see him, the old love.
That's
she
right.
She just showed up in Africa.
The old love flew all the way to Africa. It's a long flight, just to interrupt a beautiful Hallmark movie.
Right, a new budding relationship, but there was a little bit of a turn, being, I don't know why she thought there was going to be any kind of romance anyways, coming and explaining that I'm your new boss, right?
Yes. But that's what the Hallmark movies do.
Right.
And everybody who has watched a Hallmark knows the sequence of events.
Yeah.
And you watch it because you want to see how everything turns out in the end.
And they truly made her, this Amy character, very unlikable, I thought, especially with her disregard for the rules of the savannah and the reserve, with the no drones, and just no care in the world for the animals. And it just, it showed that she had nothing in common anymore with him.
Yes, but again, that's typical Hallmark.
Yeah.
Because their antagonists are always sort of people that we could not identify with.
And it really was, it played out. Now, what I did love is, and I don't want to ruin this for anybody, because I do think everybody should watch this for not only the beautiful love story, but also the the idea that this was actually Hallmark taking us again for the
Yes.
umpteenth time this year around the world. They really are taking us on to see our beautiful world and all that it has to show us.
That's what Hallmark's noted for. What I do note is that Hallmark today has a lot of competition because the football season is starting.
Oh yeah.
So now people will be watching the football games on Saturday night, and then we have the baseball season going into almost World Series events, and all these teams that are at the top are rushing to see who's got the best for the competition. And so Hallmark has a lot of competition. But what's next for Hallmark?
So next week, we are going to, there's actually 2 movies that I think we may be a double feature night, but the Saturday night, which we always do review, is Never Too Late to Celebrate, which is about a gentleman who is helping his friend celebrate, it seems like her 30th birthday, but I thought was interesting, they're celebrating for their 30th birthday a quinceanera.
Well, that's why it says it's never too late to celebrate. Because quinceanera is typically when a 15-year-old young lady celebrates her
birthday, right?
And
now it's not a trentenera, which would be 30, but
well,
so I'm interested. Or a double quinceanera, it's never too late. Yes.
And this is what Hallmark's going to do for us, and that should be very interesting to watch.
It looked fantastic.
And to see how it's becoming a love story that Hallmark is so well noted.
Yes, so there is definitely love in that one. And then I did see in the other Hallmark channel, the Murder Mysteries channel, one that we may really love, which is
that?
The More Love Grows, it's called, and it's about it has dogs in it, so we love our dogs. So I thought,
absolutely.
There on the picture there was a woman walking 3 cute little rescues and stuff. So I'm like, oh, that may be right up our alley too.
Oh,
so
that
we'll
should be
see.
Great. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, good
and
week.
Whenever there are beautiful furry friends in our film, we all want to watch and see.
Oh yeah, so I thought that was, but that's what I truly loved about this week, seeing those animals. And when they went to go see the mothers with their cubs, it's worth watching this one, I think, just for the nature shots.
The white lion,
the gorgeous,
which is so rare, and it's so beautiful to see.
And these are real animals in Africa.
Yes. Well, we're going to look forward to next week, and if you haven't watched Saturday's Hallmark, tune it in between football and baseball, and you will have a wonderful time watching, and we wish you a wonderful week.
Yes. How many stars? You didn't give it. What did you rate it?
I would give it 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 tiers. Perfect. I love that.
Yes.
And then we will see everybody next week.
Absolutely. And watch out. Summer's racing by, everybody.
Absolutely. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye now.